Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing another premiere. I'm going to be in the live chat, so if you have any sort of questions regarding anything I talk about, do ask them in the live chat and I will be answering them as I'll be watching this video together with you. Now, without further ado, we're going to be talking about quite a lot of things in today's video. So first, we're going to take a quick look at the market on CoinMarketCap, as we haven't done so in a video in quite some time. Then I'm going to take a look at the price of ChainX. I'll talk about the Parachains on Polkadot. I've actually discovered something within the Polkadot.js wallet, which I'm sure you're going to find interesting, so please stick around for that. Then I'm going to talk about Reef Finance, the project that has been talked about in so many Telegram groups. I know that I've been getting a lot of comments in my YouTube channel as well on various videos with regards to Reef Finance, to review Reef Finance. I know they're listed on Binance, so they do have a good reputation. They are planning to do some kind of linking, and we'll talk about that. I don't want to go into it now. I'll talk about that when I look at their website. And finally, I'll close it off with Polkastarter, which is another project that has been talked about. It has grown significantly since last year. It's absolutely amazing. It's on a humongous run, and I'll explain to you why that is actually the case. Now, Bitcoin, I mean, absolutely amazing, right? It put in a new all-time high again, 52,000. It's crazy. It's just not stopping, right? I mean, you can see here on CoinMarketCap, Elon Musk is the star behind this. I mean, if it wasn't for Elon Musk, this probably wouldn't have happened. I know that the bull run has really started, but I think Elon really fueled that bull run by announcing that Tesla is going to buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin with the spare funds, right? So just imagine how much money they actually have if they could afford to throw that in the spare funds. Ethereum is not doing too bad. Ethereum is almost at 2,000 bucks, so it could very well get there very soon. I mean, it's amazing how could this continue to grow like that even when the fees are so high? Well, there's a reason behind it. I think people are just buying and holding. They're not actually trading so much, although there is a lot of hype with trading, but it kind of stops the newbies from trading, and not the newbies that have large capital, but the newbies with the low capital, the newbies that come in with 100 bucks that want to invest in something and hope that eventually it's going to do a 10x. They're not going to be able to trade anything on Uniswap using Ethereum because the fees are going to eat them alive, basically. They'll be lucky if they get 10% of their of the token that they want to get rather than a 100%, just because they'll have to pay so much on the fees. Binance Coin has been doing amazingly well. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, look at this. Look at this, 197 bucks, fourth on CoinMarketCap in the ranks. It's up 22% in the last 24 hours. It's been on an absolute rampage. It's amazing. It's unbelievable how Binance could pump so much. And I understand that CZ has a lot of power, a lot of money now, with Binance being like the top exchange. Anything that lists on Binance absolutely explodes in price. That's why I'm so hyped about the ecosystem support from Binance. You know what they say? If you hate them, you need to join them, right? Or not if you hate them, sorry. If you don't like them, you need to join them or something. I can't remember what's that term. Or if you hate them, join them, or I can't remember, right? Let me know in the live chat. Yeah, I mean, some people don't like Binance. I don't have any problem with Binance. I think they're a great exchange. They've got a lot of features there. I've been using them for a long time. So yeah, I mean, if you're new, Binance is great. It has a lot of features. It has a lot of options that you can do there. You can purchase with fiat. You can purchase. You can do crypto to crypto transactions. Again, if you're new and you don't have an account on Binance, I do have a referral link where we both get 10% off our trading fees. So I would very much appreciate it if you would like to use it to support the channel, as well as other links to other exchanges such as Hotbit and MXC, where you can trade a lot of the ecosystem tokens such as PCX, which we'll talk about in a moment. So let's get into it here, and we're on MXC exchange, and I know that if you're from the US you cannot trade on MXC, so that's why I have a referral link to Hotbit exchange where you can actually get PCX. Again, not financial advice, but if you want to get into PCX, you can do so from Hotbit. So do check that out in the description of this video if you want to use that. But yeah, I mean, PCX took a pullback just as I was expecting when I said it in yesterday's video. It hit an all-time high of 15 bucks, 15.60, and it didn't manage to continue the momentum because charts just are charts, right? But the important bit here is that this level is the last all-time high that we had, which was 1240. So it's sticking around this level. As you notice, I mean, it's following the trading analysis principles right here. They say that the all-time high, if broken, becomes support. and then the next resistance is gonna be at whatever other point, right? Only if we have historical data. But in the case of PCX, because this was a new all-time high, we didn't have any historical data, so it just happened to go as far as 1560 because that's how much buying power there was, right? And then once that buying power was exhausted, as you can see, the bots started selling, probably some stakers started selling, maybe some validators, although I don't really think so. Maybe they would sell some staking rewards, but mostly stakers and bots here, right? And then as you can see, it maintained some more fuel here, some more momentum, and then as the charts don't lie, you know, the lower time frame moving average went below the larger time frame moving average, and when that happens right here, when this crossover happens here, it's usually a sign of a dump. So as you can see, then it then continued. We're actually lucky that it didn't just go like boom down straight away here. No, it took its time, so it actually gave people the opportunity, those who do trade, the opportunity to actually sell around here, because this was an alert, and to buy back in on the dip if they believe in it, or maybe just they wait for the reversal. As you can see, we had a bit of a reversal here, but then it continued to trade sideways. So now it's accumulating. This area is extremely important to watch for PCX here, just because if we go below this area here, which is 1235, 1240, just anything between 1260 and 1230. I know we went to 1205, but if we peekaboo below, like we went to even 1197 or 92 today, if we peekaboo like in these long, as you can see, these wicks here, then it's not too bad, as long as we don't just like dump with a wide range red candle, because if we get that, then that's scary, because if we break this last area, this last all-time high here, we could potentially see the next area of support, which would be the 970, which was the initial all-time high, 970, 980, which was the initial all-time high from back in August 2020. So yes, I mean, if you're a hodler long term, it doesn't even matter, right? Because this is gonna go high. I've no doubt about PCX. They're in the early days. They've yet to list on OKX, which is another exchange that's quite big. It's a tier 2 exchange. There are speculations that it could go on Huobi, but we don't know 100% sure. These are just speculations. If it does happen, then of course it's going to go much higher, because we've seen that Fala Network are on Huobi, Darwinia are on Huobi, who else is on Huobi? Reef is on Huobi. Like, so many projects that are trying to work with Polkadot within the .eco, even if they don't want to try to become Parachains, they're already on Huobi exchange, except for PCX. So what do you think they're waiting for, right? There could be something there. There could be a technical update. There could be something they're waiting for before we get that listing, but it is coming. I have no doubt about it. I estimate that it's going to happen before April. Before April, we're going to get something. If we don't get it before April, probably sometime in the summer. But I think that before April, we're going to get some new exchange listing. If not Huobi, at least OKX. So yeah, we've got our eyes on this now. I'm probably going to be checking this in every video that I do, where I just discuss the market and stuff, just to see how the chart is doing. But the next thing I want to talk about here is with regards to Rokoku testnet. So as I was explaining in previous tutorials, before a parachain can actually launch on Polkadot or on Kusama is different, but on Polkadot, right? We're going to look at Polkadot only here. Before you can launch on Polkadot, they need to go to Rokoku testnet. Rokoku test network is basically a test network for a parachain. So once the test network is done, once the testing is done within the test network, then you are ready to launch as a parachain within the auction that's going to take place in Q2 of 2021. So Q2, right? Don't ask me in the comments, please, when will the parachains happen? No, it'll be in Q2. That's the estimation. Now for Kusama, it's in Q1, so we're estimating probably March, because we're already like towards the end of this month now, just over mid-month, right? So if we haven't gotten any news since then, I mean, I don't understand why Kusama have hyped it on their tweets, because they did hype it a bit. I know in December they said that, are you ready for the parachains? And then you know, it's been 2 months and nothing. So either they're gonna surprise us at the end of this month, or it's gonna be next month, which is more than likely the possibility there. But anyway, to focus on the topic here, so if you click on Rokoku, this is on Polka.js. If you go to Rokoku here and you go to switch, I'm gonna show you how this looks, because this is a feature that was not here before. The Parachains tab was actually in another area, so now they've changed it. So see, now we're on the Rokoku here, right? So we're on the Rokoku version of the network. So if you go to network here on the network tab, you can see Parachains, right? This does not exist in the other ones, in the other live networks. So if you go to Parachains here, we can see all the different Parachains that have launched as part of the very first batch. As I was saying before, Polka BTC, which is interlaid, they don't actually have a token. Akala Mandala, which I'm super hyped on, the biggest DeFi on Polkadot. They've launched as part of the first batch. Plasm have launched as part of the first batch. Kilt, which I've also reviewed. So I've reviewed all three of these, right? So yeah, this is where you actually see when the Parachains launch. So if you keep your eyes on this, it's possible they're going to get more information. Like if you check this, like say once every week or so, just to see how things are going, it's very likely that you're going to see updates when they list the second batch and the third batch and the fourth batch, and then with the fifth batch we should see ChainX in this list as well. And when that happens, that's when the major hype with ChainX is going to be, because it basically is going to go into the spotlight, right? So that's what's going to happen here. And then there's the proposal section here. So with the proposal section, we can see who's going to go to Rokoku next, right? So we've got this one here, Clover. We've got Clover here, we've got Crust, and we've got Hydra DX. So these are the ones that we should see as Parachains in later batches. Like Clover is going to happen on the fourth batch. So there's still some time left here for Clover. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. I mean, this is where we need to keep our eyes on for the launch with all these different Parachains. And as you can see here down at the bottom, it says upcoming. There are no upcoming Parachains, so we've got an upcoming section as well. Now let's talk about the next thing here, and that is Reef Finance. So this project has been hyped a lot, and I was like, what the heck is this about, right? Why is it so hyped, and why have they been listed on Binance? And it makes sense once you go through this. Like, I'm not even going to go through this in detail. This is not supposed to be a dedicated review or anything, but I do want to talk about it overall just to kind of give you a summary. So DeFi made easy, the gateway to DeFi through liquidity and protocol aggregation. So what does that actually mean? And multi-chain accessibility powered by Polkadot. However, the Reef token is actually on Ethereum and on Binance Smart Chain. So they're actually on two different blockchains because they've tokenized this on two different blockchains. Now they did receive funding from NGC, Genesis Block, Master Ventures. These are the ones that are familiar. Bitcoin.com. These are very familiar. You see these on most projects. They tend to fund quite a lot of startups. Now this is the ecosystem. This is how it's going to be, right? We're going to have Reef, and then you're going to have Binance Smart Chain. You're going to have Ethereum, and it's going to be basically what they're trying to do here is they're trying to get liquidity from centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges and merge it. So as you can see, Reef gets the liquidity from everywhere, both CEXes and DEXs. So we've got AirSwap here, Uniswap, Kyber Network, and then you can see here there's the Ethereum blockchain and how it's going to get that liquidity from everything. So liquidity is very important. You may be asking yourself, well, why are there so many projects launching nowadays? Like, with providing liquidity, like liquidity is super important. As DeFi expands, you need to have liquidity, because if you don't, then investors are going to suffer when a private investor dumps on the market because they got in very low. They're going to impact the price big time, right, if there isn't enough liquidity. So that's why liquidity is very important. So yeah, you can see here there is a liquidity problem, and there's a yield problem and a fragmentation problem. So they're basically trying to solve these problems, right? Yeah, expensive gas fees. I mean, this is one of the issues that we've got with Ethereum at the moment. People paying fees between $50 and $100, even higher on some occasions. Yeah, they need to find a solution to that problem as well, to the fee problem. Now, Reef Finance is secured on the Polkadot shared security model, ensuring high resilience and forkless upgradability, a decentralized network governed entirely by Reef token holders via the decentralized authority, decentralized authority organization to achieve a transparent future, a future based on more truth and less trust. So here we can see the roadmap, Ethereum DeFi protocols integrations. This was back in 2020. They had the security audit as well at the end of 2020. They had the Binance launch pool, which we all know. Q 2021, what are they doing here? Binance Access integration, Reef Basket exchange, Fiat gateway integration. Okay, this is pretty big. So that explains why the hype. That explains why the hype with Reef Finance. Smart asset. I wonder how they're gonna actually do this. How they're gonna integrate fiat into DeFi without regulation, because that's my concern. Moonbeam support, right? This is a big one here. Moonbeam support, and as you know, I've done a tutorial on Moonbeam. I'm just gonna basically summarize it here for you, but do watch the tutorial if you want to get more info. But basically what Moonbeam are trying to do is they're creating a configurable or a portable smart contract functionality for smart contracts, or digital contracts you could call them, from Ethereum to port over to Polkadot. So that's awesome, and they're creating this feature which is basically going to allow you, if you have a smart contract on Ethereum, to port over with little configuration changes. So that's huge, because that saves a lot of development time. Like, development time is absolutely crucial, and we know that people cannot rush development time because there will be bugs, there will be problems, you know, and it's just how it is. This is how it is. Like, I'm a developer myself. I work with databases, but you know, if you work with programming, with backend code and stuff in general, you're gonna face bugs. There's just no doubt about it. So that's why it's very important to have some kind of platform where you can safely port over without worrying too much about the bugs and thinking more about, okay, I'm just gonna change this configuration metrics and then that's it, I'm gonna port over. So that's what they're trying to do here. So Moonbeam, I'm super hyped on. So it's good to see that they're actually offering support. And then we're gonna see the Reef treasury, which we need because Polkadot has a treasury, ChainX has a treasury. A lot of the Polkadot.js projects have treasury within the Polkadot.js wallet, so we need to see Reef getting a treasury as well, which would basically mean that any kind of changes that happen have to be voted by the treasury, and then they go to the council. And the treasury can also support the community in the sense that if you contribute, be it with fixing a bug, be it with a video, a document, or some kind of a tutorial, like a written tutorial, like any kind of material, any kind of contribution that you could think of, it will be rewarded from the treasury. I mean, this is how it works with ChainX at the moment. This is how it works with Polkadot, with Kusama. If you contribute in any way to the community, if you create like a Telegram group in a specific language and you want to support the community, then you can contribute. You can actually, on the blockchain, you can submit a transaction with the link and say, I have contributed with this, and then the validators are going to check it. They're going to vote. Once the voting is over, that's going to trigger a timer, and then you're going to get your tips. So it all depends on how many tips the validators are willing to offer you, because then a median gets calculated, and then based on that median, at the end when the timer is over, after all the tips have been given, again, it is different on different blockchains. Like on Kusama, you need to wait for 10 validators to tip you, to fake tip you, because they don't actually give you tips. It's the council that gives you the final tips, and it comes from the treasury. So basically, these validators have to tip you, and once they do, then the timer gets triggered. When the timer is over, they have to close the proposal, which was your contribution, and then you get the tip straight into your account balance. So if you can contribute in any way, please do submit it within the tips section and under the treasury on the Polkadot.js wallet. Now, what is DeFi? Well, we know that DeFi is short for decentralized finance. What is Reef? Reef is a smart liquidity aggregator and yield engine that enables trading with access to liquidity from both sexes and dexes, while offering smart lending, borrowing, staking, mining through AI-driven personalized Reef yield engine. So now I can see why people are so hyped about this. And then what can you do with the Reef token? Well, governance. You can vote on different proposals. So this is like Polkadot, such as releasing new features, readjusting certain parameters in the system, and so on. You can pay the fees for operations such as entering and exiting, reallocation, rebalancing, staking as well. You can stake in various pools to earn interest. There's the yield distribution as well. You can choose the payout ratio. They're explaining here why they chose to build on Polkadot and so on here. That's it. I mean, what do you think about Reef, right? Let me know in the live chat there, or let me know in the comments if you've watched this after this video has been uploaded. Yeah, I mean, they do have potential. I can see a use case for liquidity, but I think that their main different, like what really sets them aside here, because liquidity is being offered by many projects, but what really sets them aside here is this, I think. the fact that they can get liquidity from centralized exchanges and DEXs, right? This is something unique. At least personally, I haven't heard. There are just so many projects out there. Maybe somebody else is doing it, but they're not in the spotlight, right? So these guys are in the spotlight, and it's the first time I see anybody trying to do something like this. So the fact that they can get that liquidity from centralized exchanges too, and move it to decentralized exchanges, like spread it, that's awesome, right? So I do think they have potential, but I'm not too happy with their tokenomics. Like, I mean, they've got like 3 billion total supply, but I know that their market cap is not too big at the moment, so who knows, right? Personally, I'm not invested in Reef, but let me know if you are. I am curious if you are invested in Reef. But next, I want to talk about Polkastarter. Now, Polkastarter is one which I have missed, and I know that when I did a Polkaswap video on this channel, when I did the Polkaswap video, there was somebody in the comment who brought my attention to Polkastarter, because when I did that video on Polkaswap, he said, well, what about Polkastarter? Aren't they doing the same thing? So I thought, what's Polkastarter? So I was asking in my Telegram group about Polkastarter, and people were like, no, that's a bit scammy. I wouldn't touch that. I mean, people in the Polkadot community were saying that it's a scam, only to later find out that they have received the grant from the Web3 Foundation. So these guys were, I think they were part of Wave 8, if I'm not mistaken, Wave 8 or Wave 7 in terms of receiving the grant. And they were listed on the official Polkadot website as well. And I don't know how we didn't see that. I don't know if they were added later on and we just didn't pay attention maybe. But at the time of me doing that video on Polkaswap, I don't remember seeing Polkastarter on Polkadot's website. That's as far as I remember. Maybe I didn't look well enough, but I didn't pay attention to the details. But I didn't see Polkastarter. As far as I'm aware, I didn't see Polkastarter. And back then it was worth like 11 cents, and then it pumped like crazy. Like right now, I think it's over $5. So absolutely humongous growth with Polkastarter here, and you'll understand why in a moment. And so what are they doing? So they're basically a protocol for cross-chain token pools and auctions. So kind of think of it like the Parachain auctions, except these are auctions within the wallet. So you're using your wallet to take part in the auction, like in that video that I showed you yesterday with PancakeSwap, in how you can partake on Binance Smart Chain into these auctions, into these token sales directly with your wallet, whereas here you're doing it on Ethereum. For now, but eventually they're going to be doing this on Polkadot. This is the idea, right? They're going to integrate into Polkadot, but they're doing it on Ethereum now. Now, what are the upcoming pools? So in 4 days, they even tell you like when it's going to start. So that's why people are so hyped about this, because it's so easy to take part in token sales. You already know it's going to be on this day. So you basically log in here, you sign in with your wallet. As you can see, I'm connected to my wallet here. There is a pool. And then that's pretty much it. Once this is starting, you can just take part, supply your liquidity, and then wait to get allocated. So this project here is actually created by another content creator. I'm actually trying to bring him on my channel, but he's very, very busy. He's been working on this project like crazy, Super Farm, which has to do with NFTs as well. I have not done enough research into this project. I just had a quick glimpse at it, but I'll probably do a dedicated video at some point on this as well. But I've been trying to bring him on. I mean, he's bullish on the Polkadot ecosystem as a whole. He loves ChainX as well, just like I do. Yeah, he's basically worked hard to build this project, and he's gonna launch an initial DEX offering here on Polkastarter, as you can see, in 4 days. And there are various other ones as well. These are the ones that have filled already, as you can see. This was the maximum that you could contribute. Apparently 169 participants, only 0.17 ETH could be contributed. So they're limiting how much you could actually buy, right? Because then it wouldn't be fair if a whale comes in and purchases a lot and owns a lot of this supply, right? So even Paid has been here, right? Paid Network, they've been here as well. The maximum you could buy was 0.43 ETH, and only 129 participants took place, but you had to be very fast, as I imagine. It's not easy. You probably had to pay a high fee just to take part and to be one of the first. And I will be reviewing Paid Network, because I have heard many good things about them. People in my community have been talking positive about this, so I will be reviewing them to understand what they're about. But yeah, like I said, this is not meant to be a dedicated review or anything, but you don't even need a dedicated review for this. I mean, it's easy to understand. You're basically taking part in token sales using your wallet. This is pretty much it. This is all you need to know. And there is a limited amount of ETH that you can contribute to in order to take part. But yeah, let me know what you think. This is it from today's video. There isn't anything else I want to talk about. It was quite a long video, so I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care and have a good day. Bye bye.